Hello, good evening, and welcome back to Final Boss Fight. My name is and I've got a microphone, and I've got my Twitch sound was turned on, so I could hear myself. I don't think anybody else could hear it, but I could hear myself on there. That was somewhat disconcerting. Anyway, welcome back to Final Boss Fight. My name is Jeff, and this evening we continue with our Monster of the Week campaign. Joining us tonight, we have our merry band of hunters, Sarah J. The One-Winged
And now
Angel.
it's gone quiet again. Hi.
The One-Winged Angel.
Hello.
Stanza Scale.
Hello.
Hello. And the Dark Lord Richard is in the GM's chair again for this session.
Hello.
So, Richard, over to you to take us through the next part of this, whatever this chaos is.
Just a quick recap on the last session. The band of hunters received an anonymous postcard alerting them to a number of mysterious and bloody deaths in the city of West Home in California. So the party got in the station wagon and drove down to California. Once there, they quickly started doing some research and speaking to some of the victims, all the victims' families.
The victims are dead. How do we speak to them?
Yeah. Well, I dare say some people might have had that option to have that power, but no one. Speaking to the victims' families, speaking to the police, speaking to local authorities, that sort of thing. Typical, research. Annoying the police. And as part of that, they investigated some of the sites where bodies were found, as well as doing some research at the local library, who were very helpful, because libraries are awesome. And I believe the Divine, Ferial, and Joe went up to the hiking path originally. No, I've got the wrong way around. You went to the home.
It was Gracie and I went to the home of the latest victim.
Yes.
Right, find
That's
some
what I was
clues.
going to say. And then Joe ate someone. No, that wasn't Joe. That was.
Joe got hungry.
Yeah, Joe and Gracie went to one of the victims' houses, and which everyone said was like a locked room mystery almost, in that clearly a brutal murder, but all the doors locked, all the windows locked. No idea how anyone got out after the murder. And while they were there, they encountered what could possibly be the murderer, an invisible monster. That they did very well at fighting, considering it was invisible. It was quite impressive. And so that went relatively well. Gracie ran away at one point, worried about the cops coming down. And Joe carried on having a gunfight in the middle of a suburban street. And while that was going on, the other team of Eupharial and Biters checked out a hiking path where some hikers had went missing, crawled through a bush for a good amount of time, and then found a construction site, and sort of questioned the stereotypically burly, laddish construction workers, all of whom they weren't too happy being asked questions about murders. They took it out a bit personally. And then, though, one of the construction workers was murdered whilst they were there. Seemed to be torn apart again by what seemed to be some sort of invisible creature. There was a lot of discussion. Then Byers tried to eat the dead body, which
he tried to take it away.
tried to take it away. And those unreasonable construction workers complained. And then the police turned up, and not surprisingly, they got arrested after Biters had already had one run-in with the police and had been told to be on his best behaviour.
And almost killed someone.
Yeah. So the police took charge of the scene, and Biters and Eupharial were effectively arrested I mean, Biter's officially his divine friend, just asked to come along. But it became evident that they weren't being taken to the police station, but rather just some out of the way place for some bad deed to happen. But they didn't take that lying down, and there was a brief scuffle, and now one of the police officers is dead. Biters, I believe, is busy eating him, and the police chief is very badly injured, but still alive. Importantly,
I thought he was. I thought we. Oh, Biters, you didn't do a good job with him.
my recollection was you guys pretty much took him out, and he was like down. But I did ask, like, do you want to kill him, or do you want to keep him alive, even for just a moment, to ask some questions? And I believe the consensus was it makes sense to ask some questions. But if you guys want to say he's dead, we can say he's dead, and he's bled out on the ground. But we'll keep him alive unless then, and I think that's more up to date, don't we? I don't think I missed anything out from that.
I think that's about it. Yeah.
I skimmed my notes, and one bit says that Gracie threw a Coke at the monster.
That is right. Gracie did throw a Coca-Cola at the monster, which was not as effective, despite being an awesome throw. Was not as effective as one might have hoped. So what you might take from that in terms of the creature's invisibility, up to you guys. But yes. Oh, you also learned about a journalist who'd been covering a lot of the murders, and I think that was on the docket of things to do. Was at some point to go and see this.
Yeah. Ellen Rustig, I believe that was. Yeah.
Ellen Rustig, yes. But right now, Joe and Gracie, I think, managed to get back into their car and drive away just before the police turned up at the house they were shooting up. And Biters and Ephariel were just dealing with the police. So I think, because probably going to be some interesting questions come out of this, we should go to the team dealing with the police chief, who is badly injured, probably dying, but you got some time, if you want to ask him some questions.
Hey, can I eat this one?
No, you may not.
What now?
Answer our questions, and you may live. Who are you working for?
And the police chief says, I just work for the city. I'm a police officer. It's not very convincing.
Biters, give him a light nibble on the foot.
Grab his hand, bite one of his fingers off.
Why always the fingers?
The police chief screams and sort of tries to draw his hand back and goes, but he'll kill me or worse if I tell you. You don't know what he's capable of.
I give another finger a little nibble.
Is it worse than what we are prepared to subject you to?
Maybe, I don't know. It's not a good situation. Like, I'm just trying to protect the town. See, honestly, I'm just trying to do what's best for the town.
Biters bites another finger off.
Oh.
Screams, and he seems to go reach for like the walkie-talkie on his like chest lapel thing. I don't know what you call it, but he's got one there, and he seems to be reaching for it with a very shaky hand.
Can I just float over and just like try to slap the walkie-talkie away with a quickly rotating?
Oh yeah, I mean, we're not. This is not combat. This guy is very nearly dead. So if you see you push him over or whatever, that's what's happening. Yes, but yes, you make sure he doesn't have the radio to presumably call for some backup.
How do your actions serve your city?
W- It's not our fault. The people made a deal, like 100 years ago or something, and it's just how it is.
What deal?
And he sort of looks up at Uriel, who I think we agree with, like, you dropped your sort of glamour to look vaguely like a normal human, and you look very much like your divine self. Still in a trench coat, but like,
Oh, I assumed I dropped the trench coat as part of it for
yes.
maximum drama.
So, from being like nearly killed and having his fingers bitten off, and what seems to be an angel interrogating him, he's lost like the sort of will to fight, and he just says, like, there was a city here before Westholm, like in the 1800s, and they made a deal, and we're still living with those consequences.
What was the deal?
That they wanted to be hidden. I think it was just after the Civil War, and I'm out here in California. There wasn't much order, and there was a small town, and they kept getting attacked by like bandits, and then this person showed up one day, said he could help, and they made a deal, and they became invisible. But not just the people, the town, and like history books and maps. They were gone from everything, but it never ended. It never stopped. So it's still invisible now. But then someone, in the 20s, people came along and built Westholm. It's a good spot for the town.
It definitely sound like we need to find this invisible town. Excellent.
I said, "Would you call me an ambulance, please?"
Like, do we have any further questions? Do we think he's answered our questions well enough?
I've
You're an
got one
ambulance.
question. I have one question. Can I eat him now?
I think I have one. I think I have one more idea for a question.
Where can we find the demon that spoke to you?
Well, I don't think I've never met the demon, but he has a representative in the town, and I have spoken to them.
Who?
And it looks like he's about to tell you when he very sadly, tragically dies, bleeding out from his various wounds and injuries. And, that name goes to the grave with him.
Would it be about this?
Now you can eat him.
Would it be about this time that Joe and Gracie turn up in the station wagon?
I was going to say, the screen kind of goes away, and you just hear munching sounds, and when it comes back, there's just a bloody bit of cloth hanging from Liar's mouth.
You can't have eaten them all. No.
The quick eaters are biters. Would this be a good time for the station wagon to turn up and with Gracie and Joe?
I mean, yeah. How would you know where to find them?
They told us that they were going for the hiking trail, didn't they?
Yes. So if you want to see you just sort of driving around and you saw a police car and
Just like driving around and just like follow the carnage.
So
Yeah.
yes, you hear a car approaching, and I imagine there's a moment where you're like tensing, expecting to see a police car coming up, but instead it's the familiar station wagon. And it stops, not far from these dead bodies of, brave police officers serving their community.
Or
Yeah.
what remains of them.
Gracie gets out of the station wagon and she just looks and she's sort of pointing at all of you. Goes, look, the police are involved. I knew this was a real conspiracy theory. They're covering something up.
Joe gets out and he's like ready. He's got his gun ready.
You just hear a loud belch from biters.
That'd have worked better if this thing hadn't gone off in the green screen.
Yeah.
The moment I was waiting for, and it's like green screen.
Yeah.
Nope, you're not having it.
Yeah.
There we go. That's better.
Ah,
That was in front
nice.
of you, yeah. So Joe's got a Nerf gun. We've downgraded his weapon. Yes. So what are the four of you going to do?
I mean, first we make sure everyone's caught up on what we learned from the chief.
Yeah,
Brief
and we
explanation later.
told you about our invisible.
No.
Hmm.
Demon has a representative in town somewhere.
What time of day is it about?
I want to say it's getting like late afternoon. It's maybe like 4 or 5 p.m.
Well,
we
it
need
looks
to
like-
find somewhere to stay for the night.
Yeah, it looks like
Yes,
we're gonna be here for a while, so we better find somewhere to stay.
Yep.
Somewhere cheap and dingy where they wouldn't think of looking.
That's where I'd look for you guys, but
I've got to keep the image going. That's why.
you've seen some motels and cheap like hotel type places, so you've certainly seen some in the town. Are you just leaving this site of murder and?
Well, I'm not planning to clean it up.
Biters has taken the bodies.
Wait, you're taking the bodies with you?
Yeah, he wants a snack.
Someone say something.
Don't let him bring it in the station wagon, though.
All right, I've got some bin bags in the trunk. But don't ask why.
That'll do it. That'll cover that. So are you taking these bodies?
Yep.
Where are we taking the bodies?
Wherever we're going.
Yeah,
Like-
my advice wants to take them back to the hotel or motel you're staying at, so you can continue to eat them.
Like The Simpsons tells me to look for a trash compactor.
Um,
Oh God, it's
So
going to
you-
be the bag of holding all over.
so you've got several bin bags.
Bin bag of
full
holding.
Actually, wait there. You're gonna have to cut them up, because like these are like adult men. You can take time to prepare these bodies, right? So you can transport them. But who knows what might happen in that time, when you guys are doing that. And sure, there's only one of you who's interested in taking the bodies, right?
Hmm.
I mean, out of character, I'd like to make sure evidence isn't connected to us.
I mean,
I'd say for a start, don't bring it with you then.
to be fair, it's just going to get blamed on whatever the monster is.
Then okay, let's not cut it up. Let's just leave them here then.
Right, you're just going to have to do without your snack. I'll find you some bacon later.
Like maybe we can take an arm off one and a leg off another. Maybe that could pass enough. I don't know.
Everybody get in. We're going to the hotel.
So you drive away from this scene of carnage and to a local motel. It is very cheap, but it's nice. It's like comfortable and clean. You know, it's not fancy, but you know, it's fine.
Is it like
There
in
does seem to
Schitt's-
be like, oops, sorry, sir.
Is it like in Schitt's Creek?
No, it's nicer than that.
Okay.
Nicer
Ooh,
than that. That would
lovely.
that would be cruel. Yes, it's you know, very boring, very dull, but compared to some of the places you have stayed, this is on the nicer end. So you have a bit of a rest to get your health back from all your fights. So we'll see what's getting into like evening, and what do you want to do?
I want to comment that a whole invisible town sounds right up Gracie's street.
Oh yeah, no, Gracie has got like several already in
Mm.
her head things linked into it. There's UFOs that have built like part of it. That's how it's invisible. Like it's a cover up. The police, like, they know about it, but it's not just local town police. This is everyone is involved in this.
Well, perhaps we should see what this Ellen Rustic dame has to say about it. She's the editor of the local paper. They must have heard some rumours or some strange goings on.
Yeah, it's a lead I want to follow up. It's probably a hard done journalist who wants to spread the truth about what's happening.
Or she's just a tabloid hack who wants to spread rumours and get a good story.
Well, there is that too, but I'll be very upset and she'll just be, I can't cope if she's part of the cover up.
She does have to be part of the
Journalistic
she does have to be part of the
integrity.
cover up. Just as if the rumours just like centre around a certain part of the town, then we're well away.
But yes, I agree, Joe. It is the right course of action.
Obviously, it's like it's getting into the evening now. Are you wanting to go tonight? Or are you wanting to
I think
go the next day?
I think settle in for tonight, and after what we've both been through today, I think it would be good to rest up and let the night do its work on us.
Now, in terms of like the rooms, are you sharing rooms? Are you getting your own rooms?
I'm not sharing with biters, whatever happens.
No.
Gracie wants her own room. Like,
I think we
possibly this evening.
probably go for our own rooms, I guess. One room each.
Okay.
Biters, do not eat anything in the room, please.
What if I get hungry?
Then go to the car and get one of the legs that Ufariel got for you that you had to take.
Take the leg in with me?
How clean are these motel rooms?
I mean, as I said, they're clean. It's not, you know, it's not the Ritz, but like they do have like a cleaning staff who do their job.
Fine, but in the shower.
So when you're in your respective rooms, are you just relaxing? Obviously, Biters is eating, probably going to be eating. Any of you working or relaxing, or you know?
Joe is just like, sorry, Carrot, you go first, didn't you?
No, you go. Joe.
I say Joe is just like going to lie back on the bed, still in his trench coat and still in his hat, just like lie on the bed and mull things over in his mind, like look through his page through his notebook and read through all his cardboard internal monologue.
Is he going to be internal monologuing or external monologuing? Because he's in a room on his own.
I don't understand the question.
Gracie, you seem like you had a
Yeah. So is there a phone in the room?
yes.
Yeah. Gracie wants to try and get in touch with some of her contacts to see if any of them have heard anything about invisible towns before, or cover-ups relating to them, or any theories about other places this could have occurred.
Okay. Make a sharp roll.
I was hoping I could I'll do sharp. Yeah, no, that's fine.
If you have some manner of ability, by all means,
Yeah, so it's net friends, but I'm not sure if it really applies. So it's roll plus charm on.
mean, if you want to say you have a mid-90s laptop like Scully does in X-Files, by all means, but we
Windows
don't have to spend 10
3.1.
minutes going through the dial-up internet to get you online. So if you want to use your internet friends, I'm more than happy.
Just like hear the sound of the modem from next door.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm on that then. I'm trying to see any of the forums. So 9. So on a 7 to 9, they're prepared. So I got 9. On a 7 to 9, they're prepared to help. It's either going to take some time or you're going to have to do part of it yourself.
Sorry, so you dropped out a little bit there. Was that saying it'll take some time?
It'll take some time, or I'll have to do some of it myself.
Do you have a preference?
I would go with time, so that then, like, I could be on some forum boards, something like that, posting about it.
Your nerd friends are busily looking into this, and like part of the problem is it's not that they can't find anything; it's that they find too much. They find everything. So it's taking time to like what's actually going to be relevant for this case. But they're on it. Looking very much like the nerds Homer goes to college with in The Simpsons. So yes, so that's what's happening there. I will say as well, Gracie, the message boards, there's a couple of people talking about, and you do see on AOL's homepage, it's news thing, about the terrible, brutal murder of a police chief and officer who were found murdered and seemingly set upon by an animal or something after taking 2 individuals into custody. And there's a like a police sketch of biters and a police sketch. It's almost like a circle head with like a stick figure like eyes, and it's like that's about what they've got for you, because it's like whenever like someone's like, well, they were like they had a face and probably had a nose, I'm assuming, but yeah. So it does seem like the bodies have been found, and understandably they went, well, what was happening last with them, which was taking you guys in. So yes, there's presumably people looking for at least those 2.
Cool. I go and knock on everyone's doors individually. Can I have a printer with me? Like an old temperamental printer.
What, and with the feed paper?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
I print out these badge, and it's a really, really bad printout of it, so it looks even worse than it does on the screen.
Yeah.
Very liney. And I go around everyone's, so I go and show it to Joe, and then I sort of go and bang on Biter's door. I hope you're happy with yourself. The internet is full of this now.
Why are you giving me that to eat?
When you show Joe the printout, Joe is shocked. How'd you carry a printer in your bag?
The bag conspiracy.
Gracie had a lot of baggage with her. A lot of baggage.
Station wagons have got good storage, I believe. Like,
does they not have like one of the boxes on the top as well?
Aye.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you don't eat. That's you.
Looks nothing like me.
It's uncanny. Biters one. They've clearly got a talented artist on staff.
He's still claiming it looks nothing like him.
Yeah.
Well, my question in that case is, who was left alive to see it?
I mean, so like we were carted off in a police car away from the building site, so whoever was there.
Okay. Okay.
There was like I think there was like 3 or 4 police cars there, and obviously then if like someone's found it and then went back through.
And you had been at the police station earlier that day as well. I would have thought
Yes.
Yeah.
they were
Yeah, and
suspicious of Vitus anyway.
proper small town thing of the weird drifter people who came through town. Just blame them for everything.
They came into town and everything started going wrong.
Yep. So that's something to worry about. I mean, who dealt with the motel receptionist?
That'd probably be Joe, but would everybody else have been with me at the time?
Would want to be involved as well to make sure that it could fit her technological requirements.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say yes. It wouldn't have been Biters, I'd imagine. And the picture's not much use of your area because it's just
Yeah.
like.
I think we're safe enough for now, but we shouldn't stay here for too long.
So, is anything else anyone wants to do tonight?
Vario's staring out the window at the street, so just seeing if anyone's out at this hour.
Okay. If you make a. Imagine this will be a sharp roll for. Yeah, if you make a sharp roll.
That's an 8.
An 8, right. There does seem to be a lot of police cars about, as police chief's just been brutally, horrifically murdered. That's gonna get a reaction. But no one seems to be paying particular attention, to the motel or like stalking the place out that you can see.
Ayers is on the bed, just gnawing on his leg.
Yeah.
I have a plan for where the Chaos Duo will go tomorrow.
So is that everyone happy to turn in for the night?
Yeah.
Ayers would probably fall asleep cuddling his leg. Teeth around it.
Oh man, how have you guys not been caught with this? Like caught arrested 1,000,000 times with this guy? Like, but yeah, it's the morning. You've not been attacked by invisible monsters, or the police haven't. So you wake up. What is it you guys are doing?
Getting breakfast.
Yeah.
Milk.
Waffles.
There's a continental breakfast buffet in the motel.
Does it have hard-boiled eggs?
It does, yes.
Yeah.
Good. I'll ignore those.
It does have, weirdly enough, it does have a library of books, and it's all like The Big Sleep. It's all these, So if you want to, obviously whoever runs the place is a big fan of such things.
I assume that's a crime fiction thing.
Yeah, it's like all the noir stories.
Yeah. That's the one I always think. I mean, I've not read it, but that's when I think of it being like that's the one. That's. But yes, does Biters go to the buffet?
Depends if the rest of the party let him out of the room.
No.
That's not.
Sorry, Sarah,
can't
you've
hear.
gone. Sorry, you were completely
No, that's
silent.
back. So I go and see Biters in the morning, and I sort of put my head around the door, and he's still got a toe left.
Yeah, there's a tool left.
I was like, right, that's your breakfast. That has to do you.
Do you eat the bone?
Yeah.
No evidence. Well,
Well, see, you can't eat every. It's not possible to eat everything. So there will be some remains one way or the other.
I think all I hear is from Badges is challenge accepted.
So
He's not
the,
human. He's got different teeth and different physiology.
Yes, but I don't think anything's ever eaten anything ever where 100% of that mass of stuff is vanished, is gone. There will always be something, remaining. Because also, I imagine it doesn't sound like he's a very polite eater. Like he didn't get out his knife and fork and
Oh no, he's not.
put a mat down and
What are the bed sheets like though?
Probably covered in blood.
We're leaving today.
like I was about to say, aren't there I think that a giant constrictor says that's eat and swallow deer whole.
I believe there are. Spidey is not big constrictor snake. So I don't know, Biters.
I was going to say, Bitey's
A different.
awesome character who does not
Yeah.
eat people.
No.
Does he?
I mean, you don't know. This is another campaign
Okay.
where Spidey is an awesome NPC.
Biters is going to take the bed sheets with him.
Okay.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
as
make
likely
it
to get you in trouble
subscribe.
with the motel and them call the police as anything else. But they'll see that theft as on par with the murder of a police chief. So
or maybe they're used to it.
So while Biters is eating in his room, are the rest of you at the buffet?
Yep, again.
Okay. Again, something.
Milk.
Yeah, is that what you have? You have milk. Okay. Right, lots of milk. Do you take when they have the jugs out and it's a big thing of milk? Do you just take the whole thing and not one of the little cups? You just take the whole
I'm imagining you fire floats. It's kind of shuffle / floats over, just cup, jug, cup, jug.
Mm. We're definitely leaving today.
So you guys are having a quiet breakfast. When at Biter's door you hear a knock and the traditional call of housekeeping.
Biters is just like, huh?
Oh no! Oh
we don't know, but we don't know this is happening though.
Sign
No.
up.
no! That's exactly why he's gonna eat more people.
Okay.
And he's going to kind of start pouring out the door like a dog.
And you hear a voice saying, "Sir, are you okay?"
Yeah. And you just hear him growling.
And then you hear the sound of the master key of the the maid going to the lock, and the lock turns and the door begins to open.
As soon as it's open enough, Biters is going to jump and bite.
Oh no!
Okay. You jump out. If you make a tough roll. 7. Yeah, so you pounce on this poor maid, just doing a job, minimum wage. Well, not even that. It's bloody 90s and God knows what it is. But it'll be not much. Certainly not enough to danger money for dealing with zombies. But you don't manage to actually sort of get your teeth into it yet. She's gonna not surprisingly start screaming And this is out on like not the street exactly, but it's a motel, so it's like outside. It's not in a
I
corridor.
I think this is the part where we hear it and we go rushing to investigate.
Yes, as do many other patrons and
Oh
staff.
dear.
And absolute pandemonium. And Biters, what are you going to do now? The woman's struggling, but it's not even worth making a sort of roll for what she's doing. If like, you know, are you going to bite her? Are you going to hit her? Are you going to let her go?
Biters is just going to kind of hold them there.
Hold them there. And I'm also imagine you're probably covered in blood anyway from the leg.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you hear sort of quickly approaching footsteps. Could the other three of you all roll just 1d6?
2.
4.
What was that, Gracie? 5. Okay. The three of you are amongst the first in like the group that you sort of all get there first. Like, it's not just you three, but there's other people there. You see a middle-aged man beside you draw a gun. Just looks like a civilian, but it's America. And aims the gun at Biters, and he gets like really close.
Oh boy, I'm going to have to tackle him out of the way, aren't I?
I mean, that's entirely, you know.
I mean, I might tackle Biters off the maid.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could do both.
Both.
One of one person, one could do one could do the other.
I'm gonna like.
Priorities. Gracie goes back to her room and starts picking up her laptop and a printer because she's not really.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna tackle the man with the gun.
Okay. If you make a tough roll.
I think I can do that. Be able to do that. That is a 12.
A 12. My God. You take him down. It's like perfect. You don't hurt this guy. He, like he's knocked down, very sort of gently placed down. But you've got the gun like pressed down. This guy's not moving. He's not happy about this. But like, there's not much he can do. You really.
Pardon me, sir. I slipped.
Now, are you staying on him? Like, you continue to hold him down? I
will slowly start. You say the gun is he's lost the gun. He's dropped the gun.
No, it's still in his hand, but you're sort of very much like your hands on the gun, pushing it onto the ground.
Yeah, I think I'm
so
going to.
He's still got it in his hand, but unless he wants to shoot,
I think I'm going to take my time getting off him.
Okay, Ariel, if you want to roll for Biters.
All right, so that's a tough roll.
Yes. Sorry. Yes.
Nice. That's a 13.
Don't know what happens in a 13, and you might just win the game. Go home. Are you going to oppose this, Biters, or are you going to allow yourself to be tackled? Or I mean, do you
I'll
even
allow
know
myself to be tackled?
Do you know who it is?
I'm going to assume that I don't see it coming.
Okay. Yeah. Especially on a 13, that makes sense. So yep, you tackle Biters. I'm going to let you say what it is exactly that you do, but with a 13, that's what's happening. So.
I mean, get him off the maid. And so, like, I think I'm just like gonna kind of mirror Joe, pinning Biters down.
Yeah. Yep. So
I was going to say Biters would be snapping, but not actually getting purchase on anything.
It's like one of these rotating rings. Like one of the rings stops rotating for a moment. It's like a set of eyes faces you, and they just all roll.
Yep. Yeah. But again, like very much like the guy. he's down. He's trapped for at least a moment. There's not much he can do to anyone. But there's still a lot of pandemonium. Some people are helping the maid, who's not actually too badly hurt. Like someone ran into her, knocked her down, but she's not bleeding because biters didn't actually get a bite on her. But you can hear police sirens.
Damn it! Not again.
And there's still this crowd of people sort of saying, "It's the monster! It's the monster! Kill the monster!" And there's a lot of someone's congratulating you. You failed on capturing the monster. That guy, are you off this gentleman with the gun?
I think so. Yeah, I'll probably try and dust himself up and help him up and just can I subjectively knock the gun out of his hand, or not subjectively, but knock the gun out of his hand while I'm doing it?
If you make a tough roll.
Simon, yeah. There we go. 8.
8. Oh yeah, you knocked it out of his hand.
Yeah. Excuse me, sir.
At this point, Spiners would be calming down as well and going back to his sort of innocent look.
And all the city people go, "Oh, he's fine now. He's calmed down. No need to involve the authorities in this." But yes, those sirens are getting really loud.
I think it's time we moved on to what we were going to do for today.
I could try shrink a ring to semi-cuff him. Let's drag him along.
Fighters.
I mean, you can try, but it would be the same as I'd ask both of you to make a tough roll, and if you beat him substantially enough, I'd say yes, you've restrained him in some way.
Yeah, I'm just basically trying to.
I'm just happy to allow this to happen. To be fair.
Okay, so you're not resisting whatever's going to
No.
happen next, right? Okay.
No.
Grace is by the station wagon with all of her kit. She's ready to go.
Grace is there with laptop, printer, laminator, phone,
Several files of
mobile,
information. Yeah.
file of
Brick
facts.
mobile phone.
Filing cabinet.
It's all there. Yep.
He just already saw how this was going to go down.
Are you guys heading to the car?
Yes.
I mean, it's a motel, so imagine you probably parked
Oh yeah,
very very close to
yeah,
where your room
well,
was.
yeah, we would do. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you go to get in the car?
Yep.
Joe driving?
Yep. Very
Okay.
driving quickly, but as nonchalantly as possible.
Well, you get to the car, and there's people very much saying "What are you doing? Where you taking him? The police are coming." Are you guys just sort of ignoring this and carrying on?
I just say to them, "We're on police business. We need to take this guy down to the station. We're only keeping him here overnight. We're taking him down to the station."
And I'm not going to roll because there's many people here who, variety of intellects, but they'd have to be pretty drunk.
All I need is that one tiny moment of doubt. Yeah. That's all I need.
And they were going, wait, you're not in the police, but no one actually tries to stop you. But there's a lot of discontent about this. So you all managed to get into the car, and did you say you're driving?
Well, first thing is driving away. Let's focus on away first.
So are you speeding away, or are you, as you say, are you going the speed limit? Careful, or are you just
at the speed limit?
At the speed limit.
At the speed limit, exactly on the speed limit.
Okay. Now, as you are pulling out of the motel, you can see at least 3 police cars barreling towards the motel, and they do all sort of go into the motel car park, and not immediately, after you. But you'd imagine it's not going to take long. After, there's probably about, no, that's them, that's them over there. So what are you guys doing?
Oh boy.
Gnawing on my chair.
As usual.
Just I don't know, just like take random turns, left, right, left, right, right, left, 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 right, left, left. Just trying to lose any possible pursuit.
Again, are you staying at the limit?
Yeah.
Right. Well, you do see a police car is coming after you. With its siren on, it is.
Guys, we're in the wrong game.
racing.
We're in the wrong game. We've just started playing Grand Theft Auto. All right,
Yeah.
floor it.
So the station wagon takes off. Now, unfortunately, it is a station wagon.
It doesn't take off.
No, it goes to 65 miles an hour, and the police car is rapidly approaching. Now Joe's driving, so we'll say, Joe, if you I'm gonna say if you make an act under pressure roll,
boy.
that's cool.
8.
8, okay. You're doing well. You're managing to just you haven't been immediately caught up by the police car, so that was about as good as you could expect. Is anyone else doing anything to hinder the police car or speed you guys up?
Biters is going to go to the back window of the station wagon and try and look as intimidating as possible.
Okay.
Oh, they probably got. Have they got? Do they have a copy of the printout?
You swear you hear someone go, "That's him! That's the guy!" At which point there is a gunshot. The back window shatters, and Biters, you take. Give me 1 second here.
Vitality time.
Why isn't this loading the way it's supposed to?
That means you don't take any damage whatsoever.
Oh, it doesn't mean that at all. Does anyone have the shotgun stats by any chance to hand?
I have a shotgun on my character sheet. The option it's 3 harm, close, messy, loud.
Yeah, you take 3 harm.
Okay, I'm going to reduce that down to 2 with my mortal ability.
I remember it this time.
Okay. So Biters, you might have successfully intimidated them, but you are they are police officers with guns. So often their reaction to such a thing would be not run away, shoot him. Ariel or Gracie?
Can I try and lean out of the window and try and shoot one of the tires on the police car?
Absolutely can.
What is it? Tough.
Oh, it'll be a tough roll.
Nine.
9. Yeah, you hit the tire. Oh, was
I
that?
want to offer help. I want to offer help.
You wanna help? Yeah.
Just that could be a 10. Well, I rolled an 11 to help.
Okay. Right. So you hit the tire. Now, what do you want to happen to the police car, Gracie?
I don't want it to go. I want it sort of to slide to one side and just go to a stop rather than it murders everyone and causes
I was hoping for it flips over and you know,
Sorry.
as cars do, when they take any damage. And but yes, you shoot up the tire and the car sort of spins, and they seem to be getting control of it. But Joe's excellent driving skills have taken you, away from it, and people are looking for you. But for the immediacy, you are out of danger.
Right.
If Bytes has a, sorry.
As it happens, I was going to suggest that Biters and myself investigate the sewer murder.
Like I was checking. I double checked my notes for like where all the murders had been.
There
so I
was a
can-
murder in the sewer, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or at least a body was found in the sewer. It could be that thing of, was it?
Like
Was it
before everything happened, I thought, hey, that's a discreet place out of the way. I can take Biters and we can go.
That just sounds like you're going to murder Biters.
That's great. In which case, again,
Fight.
in which case, I guess me and Gracie are gonna head for this Ellen Rustig dame.
Yeah. I think we should probably try and leave the car somewhere slightly hidden.
Oh yeah,
Possibly go
Yeah.
on foot. I don't think they're looking for us just yet.
yep.
I mean, they're always looking for us, but not just yet.
So you find a quiet spot. Joe, if you want to make a sharp roll just to see if you can find a good hidden spot.
Can do that. I will do that. That's an 8.
Yep, you find a very quiet, and like you find this parking lot, and there's like a whole bunch of station wagons there. Evidently, it's a very popular, place. And you've parked, so the shutout window isn't very visible. You've done a good job of hiding it. You think? Almost like like hiding it in plain sight, almost. Where it's, it's just there.
yeah. Just
Gracie
see-
is going to take her laptop with her, though. So, like, she's got
Box
a
six bag.
massive. Yeah. Well,
No, you've
Not
got your
quite that
laptop.
bad.
You got a bag. Yeah. You got
yeah. I'm not taking the printer with me, but
No.
yeah. My laptop, my brick of a phone, my flashlight. To hit people with.
Okay. So we'll go with Joe and Biters. Are you happy going to the sewer?
Yeah. I'm assuming I'm still chained up.
Okay, so Joe and Gracie, you did get the location of the newspaper building. So are you just going to head over there?
Yes.
I think so. Yes. Yeah.
So you arrive at. I did have a name for this paper.
Boston Globe. Sorry, that's the wrong game.
West Home Daily Journal.
Okay.
Very nice, impressive looking building. And there's a security guard on the ground floor. There was like sort of, it's not a reception desk as such, but there's like security desk as you go in. And it says, "Good morning. How can I help you?"
Yeah, we're here to see Miss Ellen Rustig.
Oh well, I mean she's the editor. She might not be available immediately.
I think we can wait.
Yeah,
But
we're
it-
not in a hurry. We're big fans of her work.
It's important that we see her.
Okay. Do you want to make a charm roll
Yeah, I'll make it
to
charm.
sort of
8. I'm rolling all the 8s this evening.
Right. So on an 8, that'd be they'll do it, but only if you do something for them.
Okay.
So the guard's going to go, yeah, I'll put a call in, but it's going to take some time. And then, but it seems like what he's actually going to be doing is reading his paper that he's got, which isn't the
Mhm.
Daily Journal, reading a rival publication.
Of course.
She sort of looks at him and says, that looks interesting. Can I get you a coffee to go with that?
Can't hear that.
Oh, yeah, it was a bit faint, Sarah. I did hear you as you wanted to get him a coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very nice of you. And there's a coffee shop just next door. So are you going to go and get him a coffee?
Yes.
Okay. And Joe, you stand there making small talk.
Yeah. He said. Did he say he wanted us to do something for him? Was that it, or is there something else?
The coffee is enough.
Okay.
It's a small. I mean, you're here to see a reporter. That seems fair enough. It's not like you say like, "Can you let us into the vault?" Or
Yeah.
you know. And he's talking to you about the local football team, the West Home winners, the West Home winners, because they're not very creative. And
How many games have they won?
They've won them all.
Oh, that's disappointing.
They're on like a streak.
I am mildly disappointed in that.
Yeah. They're a very successful team.
I feel like there's a chance for a great bit of irony, and it didn't come about. I feel like the
No.
universe is not doing its job properly.
No, well, I don't think irony doesn't take its hold much in America. So yes, Gracie returns with a coffee, and says, "Thank you very much, ma'am. That's very, very kind of you."
She is standing there and she just sort of mumbles to Joe. She's like, put all sorts of stuff in there.
So you're breaking up a bit there.
Yeah. So as I'm sort of handing it over while he's sort of like looking at it, I'm just mumbling to Joe all about how like they put all kinds of stuff in coffee, like it's a mind control chemical. They're drugging us all secretly.
Good job.
But
We're
like
not the
kind
ones
of like
drinking
in
it
the sort of
then.
under my breath.
Oh, good job. We're not the
Under
ones
my
drinking
breath,
it.
rant to Joe.
Good job. We're not the ones drinking it then.
I know, right?
So the
So why
security
it's
guard
only one coffee?
takes his coffee, has a sip, it looks pleased, and then picks up the phone and goes, "Can I speak to Miss Rustig?" Yep. One second. What's it about? Is this a story that you have for her, or?
It's to do with an ongoing investigation. The recent murders that have been in this city.
Oh yes. Yeah. One second. Yeah. I don't know, a bit like a grunge kid. Yeah. The other one, I think he must be an actor or something. Like, like he looks like he's come from a film set. It's weird, but they're nice people. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Puts the phone down. Is Miss Rustig's gonna come down and meet you both. So again, there's a few minutes there of small talk with the security guard. This time moving on to the lacrosse team they have called the West Home Middle Rankers, who win some and lose some, and have a mixed season so far.
Yeah.
And then the lift door slides open as a bing as it arrives, and sort of very professional looking woman, probably in like a mid-40s, steps out, and she sort of says, "Oh, thank you, Mike," to the security guard. And he's like, "Yep, no problem, Miss Rustig." And she goes, No, come on, I keep telling you, call me Ellen. And he's like, "Well, we'll see about that, Miss Rustig." But it seems like it's very like cheerful banter between them. And she walks over and says, yes, I see what you mean, Mike. How can I help you both? What was it you want
And
to
I
talk
just like
about?
do my hat. Miss Rustig. My name is Joe. This here is Gracie, and we understand you may have some information on the recent murders in this city.
Yes, I run a newspaper, and that information went into the newspapers.
We're Finding new in town. We haven't had a chance to look at all the newspapers yet.
And she sort of looks at both of you and sort of lowers her voice and says, "Do you have something to tell me? That like is this a routine? Like what?"
We're just interested in the strangeness of these murders, and we're wondering if there's anything unusual been happening in the town apart from these murders, of course. Anything else unusual happening in the town these past few weeks?
And then she turns to Mike and she says, "Could you just tell my assistant that I'm just going out for coffee?" And she takes you next door to that very same coffee shop. And she gets a drink and she asks you if you guys want anything.
I'll have mine black as the dead of the night.
Yep. Black coffee. And she looks to Gracie.
Do I get experience points for staying in character?
I'm
No.
fine, thank you.
Okay. So she has she sits down in a very quiet corner of the coffee shop and says, "So you think the murders are strange? I mean, it's just, a few odd incidents." And she sort of had a little, not a smirk, as in she's just very funny, but as if saying she thinks there is something strange.
Yeah,
about
she it's the equivalent of reroll the psychology. She's holding something back.
Yeah.
Well, what would it take to get some of the local rumors? To hear about some of the local rumors? I'm sure a person like you must have seen many things cross your desk, some of which may not have ended up in the papers.
She said, "Well, not so much. It's not these aren't secrets or anything, but yeah, there's been, 5 murders, well, 6 now, I suppose, with that poor construction worker, in the past year. But murders go back in this town decades.
Yeah, I remember hearing something about the Maybury massacre.
Oh yes, that was in the 40s. Very odd incident. I mean, reading between the lines, and of course, I've spoken to what's his name? I've spoken to Sheriff Clover, retired Sheriff Clover, about the Maybury massacre. And yeah, it seems like there was some sort of posse was got together, but they were attacked, or they attacked someone, and a lot of shots were exchanged.
I've had an idea. I take it we have maps of the city, don't we? Do we have a map of the city around? Because you must know where. You must have to find our way
I'm
around.
sure you could have got one in your normal research. And
I'm going to take out a map of the city, and I'm going to lay it on the table, and I'm going to say, "Could you help me out here, doll? Help me. Where did these murders take place on the map?"
And yep, she says, "Well, in the past year," and she marks them out, and then says, "And this is where the Maybury massacre was, which is over near one of the construction sites, not the one the other half of the party were at the other day, but the other construction that's going on. That's a bit more like the stadium and the fancy things that are being built."
I'm sure you know where I'm going with this. Is there any sort of pattern to them, or like any sort of shape that can be drawn from where they took place?
Not that you can see.
Or like are they like concentrated around a certain area or something?
Well, if you make a sharp roll, and Gracie, you can as well for this one.
Oh, 11. The alien stress die is not giving me stress tonight. That's an 11.
And Gracie?
8.
8. Okay. Okay. Now you get to ask some questions of like me, but I'll answer them in character.
Okay.
But 'cause I know what you're asking.
Yeah.
Sort of, is there a pattern? And in sort of her long-winded explanation, Ellen explains how it was always like the periphery of the town, because as it expanded, most of them happened like on the edges of the town. So like the earlier murders happened sort of not what now is the edge of the town, but what was the edge in the 60s and the 70s. So that is the pattern, that it's most of them, not all, most happen on the periphery of the town. And as the town's grown,
periphery's obviously expanded out.
yeah, it's so yeah.
Okay. Do I have to ask you a question from this list, or can I just ask you anything?
If you want to ask me one from that list, you can. If you've got a specific question you want, because it was a very good roll, especially between the two of you.
What's in the centre of the town, the dead centre of the town?
The dead centre of Westholme is was sort of asking Ellen about it. She says, well, originally that was where like the city hall was, but that was like in the 20s, and now it's just like a neighborhood, just like suburbs.
Because my thinking is, what you're saying, if what she's saying is that the town has expanded over the years, is what she's saying, as towns I want to do. The original town must have been in the centre of what is now Westholme.
Do you mean the invisible town?
Possibly, yes. That's what I'm thinking. Yes, if the settlers went to the same site.
I'd say it's roughly the same.
Yeah.
Like it's not built exactly on top of it.
Yeah.
But someone came along and went, "This is a good site, this whole space," because it would have been a very small place in like the 1860s, 1870s.
Yeah.
So it's like it's in a very similar place.
Yeah.
But not. It wasn't like.
If not exactly on top, but very near it, because obviously those previous people would have also said this is a very good place to build a town.
Yeah. And because of your good rules, if Gracie, if you have a question.
Is there a particular pattern of people that are thought to be involved in it?
The victims, do you mean? Or?
Yes.
Not as far as so Ellen says, I mean, again, like it's often so like the hikers who went missing. It's people who are for whatever reason often at the edge of town. So hikers, the construction workers, people who've travelled to the edge for work or whatever. Like I would say it's opportunity seems to be the.
So it's not sort of newcomers or any pattern that if they've lived in town for a long period or maybe finding out too much.
Too much?
9 years ago.
I don't know about what goes on in this town. You read all kinds of things, and people sometimes do just disappear in convenient accidents.
Parents.
Oh.
Roots.
I don't. I mean, some of these were college students. Let's have a quick look. So. Just look quick. We've got the victims. Because I did do a list, so I might as well break it out. Let's see. Patrick Summers was a mechanic. Chloe Hudson and Samantha Price, high school students. Randall Jackson was a teacher. Louise Chan lived with parents, and I'm presuming unemployed because I don't have a job for her. Those were in the past year. Some in the 70s, 4 people were killed in a cabin. Or like in a proper traditional 70s horror, you know, they're all like college students, you know. One did survive, and that one, Nikki Volstead. Yeah, some construction workers, and another one, a doctor. High school students found in an abandoned house. They were dead in the 50s. And then the Maybury massacre.
Yeah, there is no obvious pattern there, but thank you for providing us with that information.
I mean,
This Nikki.
oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
No, you go.
This Nikki Bolster, the one who survived, did she stay local or was she just here on holiday?
No, she left. I'm not sure where she went to. I think she had a lot of you know, bad memories. There is Sheriff Clover. He was in the Maybury massacre. I mean, he's a very elderly gentleman now, but he's still alive.
He may be interesting to talk to. Out of character, I do have an ability. If someone lies to me, I know it. So is she telling the truth about this person moving away?
She is telling you the truth about this person moving away, but I will say she has lied to you in this conversation.
Which bit was she lying about? When would I have known it?
When you were asking if there was like a pattern or sort of why people were being killed, that's when she was lying.
Okay.
So, was she lying when she said there wasn't a pattern? That's what she said, wasn't it? Did she say there wasn't a pattern? Did she say there was a pattern?
What I'd say to make clear, it's probably true to say that there isn't a pattern, but she knew a lot more about how and why people were getting killed.
Yeah.
So you could say it's technically the truth, because he said to her, like, is there a pattern? And she's like, no, there was no pattern. It's not a lie, but the amount of stuff she's not telling you there, I would say that is clearly like deception.
And I
Lying by omission.
can I ask?
Lustig, I'll go on.
As I say, can I ask another question off my investigate roll? Or do I need to make another investigate roll for that?
You'd need to make another roll for that one.
Can I make another roll for that?
Yeah, she seems perfectly happy to answer questions, and
Yeah, because if would Gracie have indicated to me that something's not right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've worked together enough times, I think we'd have some sort of code worked out.
That is a 9 on my sharp roll.
9. Yeah, you get to ask one of those questions,
On this,
or if you have a specific question.
It's all right. The specific question I want to ask is one of the ones that's on the list. What is being concealed here? What is being concealed here? What's she not telling us, basically?
Ellen Lustig is at the very center of all of this. Going back to the Maybury massacre in the 40s, and all the killings from the 40s to now, despite appearing to be in her 40s herself. So, like, if she was around in 1940 or being involved in this, she would be exceptionally old, but she doesn't look it.
So, like, how would we in game? How would we determine that?
Well,
Just the fact that she
What I-
seems
what I
to
would
know a
say-
lot about. Yeah.
What I would say is, because that's like these questions obviously very specific. Like I would say, like your keen investigative sense has said she's involved in this.
She
She's-
knows.
she's
She
a
like.
big-
She knows
a big-
bit too much about this. Yeah.
Yeah, and like she seemed to like be aware of things that like, you know, even for a journalist it would seem suspicious. But yeah, you sort of got that she's involved in this, and obviously given her what appears to be her age
Yeah.
and the length of these, you know, that suggests either she's stayed out of the sun a lot and
So
taken
it's
really
like-
good care of herself. Or...
Could it be like the contrast between she knows a lot about the incidents, but when we asked her if there's a pattern, she just like tried to hand wave it.
I mean, if
She
you
could-
asked like if you asked a serial killer, is there a pattern to your killings? They
Yeah.
could honestly answer, no, there isn't, because it was that guy who was walking past one time and I saw him.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like, yeah, there's no pattern.
But they all have something in common.
No. Like, there's no pattern. But I don't know. If you're, I would say from like the thing of like, you know, that being lied to, and you know that there's something she's not telling you, and you found it out. If you ask someone a question like, "Oh, is it Bill Smith who owns that car?" and the person you asked said no, and that was it, but it was their car,
Okay.
you would think it weird that them not to tell you, and that would sort of be a lie. So when you said, "What's going on with all these murders? What's the story?" and she told you this, there's a lot more she knows, and you know from your role, she's involved, as in she's in some way being very directly involved in these deaths.
Okay.
Ms. Rustig, over time I have become very good at reading people. People are being harmed here, and I think there is a truth that needs exposing, which surely lines up with your journalistic intent. Is there anything else you can tell us about these?
Well, you know, a journalist deals with facts. Truth is a philosophical concept.
I just had a thought. I just had a very bad thought. But carry on. I just had a very bad thought.
So, yeah, I'm sure there's more information. We could go to my office and I could have a look at my notes and the files I have.
I would be very interested in that if you were able to.
Of course, yes. I don't see why not.
Can I read a bad situation?
You
Because the
can.
thought has just struck me that if she's in it up to her neck, and we know these creatures are invisible, how do we know that there's not anything near us at this moment? I'd like to read a bad situation. I'll look it up. That's a 9.
Okay. On a 9, you get to ask me one of the following questions.
Yep.
What's my best way in? What's my best way out? Are there any dangers we haven't noticed? What's the biggest threat? What's most vulnerable to me? What's the best way to protect the victims? Or, you know, if you have a very specific question, you could ask that and
Again,
what it is.
the question I want to ask is on this list. Are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
You haven't noticed that Ellen Rustig is exceptionally, superhumanly dangerous. She herself is the most dangerous person, thing, creature you've encountered in this town. And you fought the invisible monster the other day. So she's more dangerous.
I don't think we need to go back to her office just yet. I think we've taken up quite enough of Miss Rustig's time. Don't you, Gracie? Like, trying to get across the idea to Gracie that we should probably leave
need to
about now.
go.
We need to go.
Yeah.
We need to find our friends.
Yeah, you're right. Our associates will be looking for us.
Should we need to contact you again? Do you have any a card or a number we can contact you on if we need any more information from you?
And she's practically grinning now, right?
Yeah.
Looks really happy. And she says, "Oh, of course, here's my card." And she hands you a card, and it just says like West Home Daily Chronicle, and has like her direct line. You can call me on that anytime.
Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am. Good day to you.
Oh, I mean, do you need any directions of where you're heading next, or?
I think we're going to head back to our accommodation and think about these things you told us. See if we can find any way to this neighborhood in the center of town you told us about.
There was a dreadful attack on a motel this morning. That wasn't where you were staying, was it?
We read about that. We read about that. What time of day is it?
No.
Yeah.
About 11. So it's been a couple of hours.
Yeah, we didn't hear much about it. I'm surprised. Yeah, we haven't heard much about it at all. We just heard a load of sirens going past. It was an attack on a motel, was it?
I mean, of course, yesterday there was the police chief was murdered.
This is a very dangerous town you have here, ma'am.
It is at times, and I've lived here a while.
Yeah, I think we'll be careful, and you be careful yourself. You don't want to end up down the wrong alley, do we? Do you?
No. Well, have a good day, and maybe I'll speak to you later.
Of course, would be my pleasure, ma'am. And as soon as we're a decent distance away where she can't see us, I would like to note down the number on the card and then destroy the card.
Ooh. Okay. Yep, you got the number. So we'll go to Ethereal and Biters. So I'll say you had the rough location of where the body was found in the sewer. So are you heading in?
Yep.
Okay. So it's very unpleasant. It is a sewer. And the things you find in sewers, you find in this sewer.
If there's any rat buyers, is just going to pick them up and eat them.
There will be a couple. And you get to the area where the body was found. What would you like to do?
How many ways to that particular spot are there?
A lot. A lot. It's where you are. Just like if we imagine it's like a corridor. In one corridor, and there's like a T junction at one end, and at the other end is like 4 different sewer lines going off it.
Are there any kind of tracks leading away from where we think the body is or was?
No, mainly because you're in a sewer, so you're in like a little bit of it's running water. So there's not much in terms of like tracks or anything like that.
I'm wondering whether to check upstream or downstream or something like that.
Well, remember, you can always say you want to do like an investigate a mystery roll, and then if you roll well, you get to ask some of those questions.
Yeah, might as well.
So that would be a sharp roll.
That's a 3.
3. Nope.
I mean, I can roll
You
if there's the option. Oh, yeah.
you roll as well, but Biters is just very interested in a bit of wall.
Ah! I also rolled 3.
You do have luck if you want to use a point of luck.
Sure.
Using
All right.
using some luck, okay. Right, you can ask me absolutely any question you want about what happened here. Doesn't have to be on that list, can be absolutely anything.
Is that like including somewhat meta knowledge about what our companions have?
No, it would sort of what happened here. So, you know, so like those questions that the examples of like what happened here, what sort of creature is this? That's a good guide, but you can go beyond that with
I'm between what can hurt it and where did it go. It's like we need to find it and we need to kill it.
Okay, well I'll say because you rolled a 12, which is like you get to ask anything. I'm going to say you can ask 2 questions off that list if you'd rather do that instead.
Thank you. Yes, please.
So was it then what can hurt it?
What can hurt it and where did it go?
Okay. Just to explain this in like sort of in-game ways, you speak to the sun. The sun, you know, very observant entity, and it lets you know that the creature, you know, you can hurt it by shooting, stabbing, whatever. It is particularly vulnerable to bright lights, sunlight especially, and it doesn't like being filmed or recorded. But it says if you want to permanently kill one of these creatures, do it in sunlight or in very bright light. Because there's a thing, and this is how very much the thing of like you can kill something, you can like cut its head off, but like if you don't get its vulnerability, which in this case is bright light sunlight, it would probably return in a month or 2. You haven't, you know, properly killed it. So that's something you'd have to bear in mind with these creatures: sunlight, bright light. And the other one was where did it go? There's a weird bit of knowledge. You sort of see a map in your mind and sewer network laid over it, and you see it seems to have been heading to the construction site again, not the one you were at yesterday. The one on the other side of town seems to be where it was heading to, rather than just pointing in a direction, because that's going to do you no good whatsoever in a sewer system. So the sun has helped out and let you know some information.
Thanks,
You're welcome.
all right.
And do you explain?
I do explain this to Robin, yes. I mean, spiders.
Biters. Biters is going to start walking in the direction that we're pointed at.
Okay, I guess we're heading to the stadium.
I mean, what's this? Probably not best to head there through the sewers. There's going to be quicker ways to get about. I mean, obviously, if you wanted to hide, because I suppose that is a.
Mm.
I was going to say, Biters would have just been told, go that way, and he started heading through the sewers.
Might you want to reunite with your party?
Maybe? I mean,
Well, that sounds
Probably
ominous
for
for
the
a
best.
start.
okay.
I mean, I'm sure you-
like, I assume we've prearranged some place to meet up after we've done our stuff.
Well,
I would
I
say
think
so.
I think you could beep Gracie, I'm sure you should have a beeper pager thing.
Millions of beepers.
Yeah. And you arrange a spot to meet up.
Hmm.
Spiders smells awful because you've been in the sewer. But Ethereal is divine and,
Some of that sewer
smells.
is just holy water now.
Sorry?
Some of that sewer is inexplicably holy water now.
Blessed. They have a blessed sewer system.
And
But Ethereal, yes, does not smell at all of the sewer. Probably smells like something very pleasant.
and I imagine we fill each other in on what we've learned, what we discovered. We would tell them about Ellen Rustig and how she appears to be in it up to her neck, and we shouldn't trust her.
And all Robinson themes.
The demon or its represented.
Is she my next meal?
If this goes well, quite possibly.
I like the sound of this.
Now, I'm sure you're aware of this, Ethereal, but I shall remind you, you were given instructions by the sun to get the demon at all costs.
Mm.
There we go. Got the dice. So, are we going to follow their lead to the stadium? I guess.
You know where the demon lives?
We know where she is right now, and she'll be at her office at the West Home Daily Journal. Wow, okay. I get experience. I should get experience for this, remembering that. But that is a very public place, and we've already had one or two rather public scenes already. So I think we should investigate this stadium and see where that leads us. See if that leads us in. See if we get any further. Well, not so much clues, but any insight there into what's going on. And maybe after work we can tail Miss Rustig and see where she goes to. That was very creepy.
Yeah, it was.
People say
Ethereal
"Right, this
is
is a
down for
creepy
this
one."
plan.
Was that an agreement, or was that?
So like, Jill has offered an acceptable compromise.
I was going to say, people say Bouters is the creepy one.
Right, this is the creepy one.
Yes.
I mean, that's.
I'm just going to make sure my gun is fully loaded.
Yep.
Yep.
So I mean, it is walkable to the stadium. Oh, well, I say it's getting built. You know. Are you wanting to get your car, or?
If it's walkable by foot, I think we might be best going by foot. No sense drawing more attention to ourselves.
Yeah.
Now, is Spiders doing anything to disguise himself at all? Even, you know what I mean, like, you know, having a hoodie or like, you know, a baseball cap or.
Oh, 110% a hoodie would make sense. I'm fairly sure that Gracie would have a spare black hoodie.
Myers takes the hoodie and puts it on, but isn't sure why he's got to do it.
It's for the element of surprise.
Okay, so you start walking through the town. There is a big police presence. Several police cars drive by, and there do seem to be like some police on the street. But you carry on, and yep. at one point, you see two officers walking down the street towards you. Ahead of you, they stop another person and they have a bit of a chat with them. Seems very like, it's not like just saying, "Oh, hi, Joe." It's like more of a, what's
Have you
what's your
seen these
business?
people? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
what's your business? Yeah.
Yeah, like sort of saying, having a chat, and then they sort of send them, let them on the way, and then they're approaching the four of you.
Officers.
Can I just 1 second there, please? Sirs, madam. No, it's all sirs, isn't? No, great, Gracie.
No, Gracie.
It's very awkward. Cop is just now. He's like, oh hell.
Off on the wrong foot.
Yeah. So the cop sort of takes over and says, just in light of the recent murders and the death of the police chief, we're just, doing, asking people some questions. So would you mind taking off your hat?
Do I have to?
Did you ask the cop that?
Oh. I just take off the hat and
Okay.
put it back on again. Now.
Gracie, do you have a hat or a hoodie or a
Yeah, I've got my hoodie up.
hoodie up? And Ariel, in your glamour, did you have a hat?
Yeah.
So can you take your hat off and
Just like the tip of a ring, so like,
Yeah.
so like pokes it off.
they're very they see just a guy with a hat, like they're quite happy.
Sort of, I'm a bit reluctant. I'm like, oh, but I haven't washed my hair today.
Yeah, ma'am, we're investigating numerous murders.
And you want to see what? And you want to see our hats?
Yeah, I
want to get a good look at everyone.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so I pulled my hood down and then put it straight back up again.
Ma'am, could you remove your hood and keep it down until we tell you to? I mean, the alternative is we go to the station and do this.
I pull my hood down and just look really unimpressed about it.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. And sir?
Why is this going to pretend he can't hear?
He sunburns very easily. He's got a skin condition and he burns very easily in the sun. He's been advised by his doctor to keep covered up as much as possible.
Joe, can you make a charm roll?
Hopefully I can make a charm roll. 8.
8. So on an 8. Okay, they're going to say, okay, well, for the moment, sir, leave your hood, but we do have some questions. Are you residents in the city?
Anybody else want to take this one on?
Sir, I'm sorry, I can't hear you there.
We're just passing through.
Okay, and do you have a vehicle? You're on foot right now?
We're on foot right now. We parked our car in a
And,
car park.
It's what car do you drive?
Oh, well, I don't drive it. I don't know about. Joe, what sort of car is it that you have?
It's a sedan, black sedan.
Okay. And how long are you planning to stay in town?
We only just came here to stay overnight. We're carrying on through tomorrow to California, to Los Angeles. Does he not knowing it?
What's your business in Los Angeles?
I'm an insurance broker. I've been called in. I'm there on business. My company has a branch in LA, and just doing some work over there.
And are these 3 colleagues?
They are with me. Yes. That we're all journeying together on the same way.
Okay, if you just wait 1 moment, sir, and the 2 cops sort of stand back and have a hushed conversation between them. and then one's going to walk up to you and say, "Sir," addressing fighters, "your condition, is it just in sunlight?"
Any
No,
light.
excuse me, ma'am. I was asking
Any light.
any light. It seems odd that you have came to California.
Just around this. Yes.
Business.
One does not decide where one's work is needed.
That's true. I think, unfortunately, sir, we're going to have to ask you to remove your hood. We can go to the station just for your sake, darkened room, but we just need to confirm your identity. I mean, do you have a driving license on you, or so?
No.
No.
Points at Joe. Mentor.
Okay.
Okay.
Sir, and do you have a driving license?
I do indeed, and I hand in one of my fake driving licenses. Just says insurance broker on it.
Okay, and what's the name on the license? This is out of character, I'm asking.
The name is Reginald Dyer.
Reginald Dyer. It's an unusual name, sir, Reginald.
It's a traditional family name. My parents are very staunch traditionalists. They grew up in New England. A place called Arkham. Ever heard of it? Have you ever heard of it? It's a nice traditional town.
They make some notes and look at your driving license, and then look back at you to see it matches your, They seem torn about what to do. This might be an opportunity for you guys if you want to try and take some, take some action. I'm not saying kill them. That could, just it could be anything from say something or run or they're trying to make their minds up what to do because obviously they don't have time to take everyone into the station and
What do you guys think? My immediate thought is knock him out.
I'm considering. It's very tempting to read a bad situation saying, "Is there everything here we haven't noticed yet?"
You absolutely could do that.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, can I do likewise?
Well, we'll just have Imperial roll for now, and then we'll.
Other days due to the fuse.
Okay, that's an 8.
Okay.
I've met some.
So you get to ask one question of what's my best way in? What's my best way out? Are there any dangers we haven't noticed? What's the biggest threat? What's most vulnerable to me? What's the best way to protect the victims? And obviously, some of those don't apply.
I've learned that happiness comes in many.
I mean, the last time I asked what's my best way in, it was just the answer was knock them out, and I'm just like, I'm inclined to. Are there any dangers we haven't noticed yet?
No, as best you can tell, these are cops doing their proper cop work. The problem is, of course, that is a danger to your group because you are wanted for various murders. But it doesn't. You wouldn't take from their behaviour. I'll say that they are in league with the demon or anything like that. They're just doing their police work.
Hmm. I'm going to have to try and manipulate them again.
It all works.
And does anyone have any abilities or powers that they might want to use?
From the
Or
Pyrenees. That's it.
No, I don't know anything. I don't know anything that directly applies in this situation. I'm just wondering if I could try and manipulate them and try and charm them again or something. Unless anybody else has anything that would apply.
Mine was going to be something along those lines. Not really. This is an unconventional situation.
It's
We
yeah,
don't
kind of.
understand.
I'm going along more lines. I don't know. We can't stay around here. We have work to do. We have places. We have to get on. We can't stay around here. Like that sort of thing. If you haven't got anything, if you're not going to hold us, then we have to get on.
is that what you're going to say?
Unless anybody else thinks anything better.
No, go with yours. It's probably
Yeah.
better than my unconventional.
So I'm just going to say, if you don't mind, we do need to get on. We do have appointments to keep, and I'm sure you're probably best. I know you're doing your job, but we do need to get on. We need to get going.
So if you make a charm roll,
We're all. No, that is a 6.
Okay. I would like to try help. So like,
you give me
I'm
one.
sure you or time 2 can be better, sir.
oh,
Okay, so if you make a roll on that, cool.
that is a 13.
Bloody hell. Right.
Dice got our back this week.
Now, please stop me if you don't want to do it this way. But I'm going to say you go in like full Old Testament, like, do not interfere with the business of God or he shall strike you down. Like, and they are like shaken to their core, but also convinced of your weird,
Righteousness.
but yes, your righteousness. And they're like, okay, sorry, just go, yes. But
Thank you, officers.
the-
And we
they're
just quite
clearly like
quickly.
really shaken by like
Yeah.
hearing the voice of God, seemingly like.
Wow.
Yep. So you keep heading on, and it's getting later in the day now. I'm going to say it's 6 p.m.
Mhm.
And you make your way to the construction site, and it is there's not really many people about. There might be a security guard or two knocking around, but you can't see anyone. What is it you want to do?
Remind me, this is where Euphariel's deities said we're going to find something or something's going to happen. Is that?
It's where it said where the monster went to who murdered the person who was found in the sewer.
And it sounds like some of the other stuff we've encountered has
Yes.
been tied to this
There's
thing.
been other things that have happened here as well.
And there are people around you, say.
Not really. It's like the site's closed for the evening, but just from your knowledge, you imagine there'd be a security guard because like people nick brass wiring and so like there's not really many people about. You can't see anyone, but you assume there would perhaps be a security guard somewhere.
Part of me wants to go around investigating the area. The other part wants to find a place to hole up and wait to see what happens.
Stake out.
Now, bear in mind, you're trying to stake out invisible creatures. That might have mixed results.
That might have
Even
results,
on a 13, which undoubtedly someone will roll.
yeah.
I mean, we have to set up like traps or something to do something like that.
Might start looking for a way in.
Yeah,
Way into
into the site, I think.
Into the site.
no, you can walk right in. It's just that it'll probably be someone who's a paid security guard lurking around somewhere. But it's a big site, So it will be virtually impossible to completely seal off this whole thing. So you can
The way our luck appears to be going, that security guard is going to get eaten
Yeah,
either,
absolutely.
either by biters or by the creature. So rather than wait for it to happen, I think investigate the area would probably be the best way to do it, to try and be more proactive about it. I'm also interested to see who else comes here, if that rustic woman comes here as well.
Um,
Not that she'd have any
if you
reason to.
could roll a sharp for investigate a mystery.
A mystery for 9.
9.
Hmm. Do you
Well,
want help?
No, I'm okay with that. Other people can roll as well. Better.
Okay, so you get to ask one of those questions on investigate a mystery. Do you have them in front of you, or do you want me to run through
I've
them?
got them here. Yeah, where did it? No, I'm going to ask the same one. What is being concealed here?
What is being concealed here is the barest remnants of what was once a town, like sort of wooden, fallen bits, like. And you get this feeling like some of the reasons some of these buildings are like practically ruins is because the bulldozer went through this place, and just hit them, but nobody even seemed to notice. It just carried on. Like if you walked into one of these buildings when it was invisible, your brain would probably just go, "Oh, that's something weird," and you'd walk around it and not think anything of it. But this is where the old town that
We're at the.
made a deal to be invisible is here, and you also know there's at least one of the monsters that you've been hunting, not a demon, but the invisible, in the area.
Gonna draw the gun and have it ready.
Also, have we concluded / figured out that the invisible monsters are basically the townsfolk? Because
I mean,
that's seeming a
that's
connection.
they are the invisible people of the town who didn't die and just kept going and eventually started eating people and being weird monsters. Were you going to call them Wendigos?
Yeah, mutant Wendigo,
Yeah,
Invisigo.
it's along those lines, yes. Yeah.
What's a Wendigo? This
It's
is
like
me asking.
yeah.
Rather than...
like a Native American folk monster,
Right.
like cannibal creatures, I believe. And they would turn in, they would eat a person out of starvation or whatever, and that makes them into a monster. But like with this town, if you're invisible, nobody brings you any food. No one so what do you do? So there's a few of these original townspeople still knocking around, despite being well over 100 years old, eating people and being monsters.
I know that's pretty much how you get ghouls in Call of Cthulhu as well. Okay, so I'm just drawing my magnum, drawing my gun, and being ready, looking for the slightest movement. I think we're at the center of this disturbance.
Okay, if you just give me 1 second there. Okay. Right. Gracie, you feel something move behind you, and you feel something rake across your back, and it's some claws have cut you. Take 3 damage.
Can I do that? Can I, with my trusty Watchman's flashlight, try and spin round and get them.
Like hit him with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make a tough roll.
Would Gracie have called out or cried out or screamed as well when this happened?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right, straight over there with the.
Converge.
7.
7. Yep, that'll hit. How much damage do you do?
Just the one.
Just the one. Okay. It sounded like people were rushing over. Joe, what were
Yep.
you?
It's like heading over to where Gracie is, and obviously I can't see what it was, but it's like no.
I want to say for a moment you see blood-drenched like claw fingertips just for a second, so you've got some idea where it is. So
Yep, gonna try and shoot it.
okay, make a tough roll.
And this would be as protect somebody, I think, rather than
Oh. What do you
Actually,
roll
no.
for that?
Actually, no, because I'm not in the way. That wouldn't work because I'm not in the way. That's fine. Yep. Protect looks like it's more like you take the blow for somebody rather than I was too far away for that. So just straight up try and shoot them. That is an 8.
An 8, that will absolutely hit. What's the damage?
3.
3. Okay. The monster is going to do something. Joe, could you make a sharp roll, please?
That is a 8.
8. You suddenly forget what it is you're doing here. Like, why are you here?
What?
Like, you know who you are, but you're just like,
Yeah.
you know who these guys are. Be like, what's
going on?
What's going on? Yep.
Sky was
And-
dark. It looks like rain, and I had no idea where I was.
Okay. The rest of the party, I'll say Biters or Ethereal because Gracie hit it with the torch.
I mean,
Biters would be. Go on. You go first.
basically, so like, I think I was rushing over to Gracie, but it's like now I'm concerned about. I'm basically okay. Who looks in most danger? Do you reckon? Because I'm thinking of just basically rushing over to protect one of them from its next attack.
I mean, Gracie's the one who's actually being, physically harmed.
All
I
right.
thought, Joe could just be an idiot.
Okay, let's go to Gracie.
Okay. And you wanting to protect? Like, as in the sense of that's your action.
Or I could heal. That's that might be a good idea. If since you're on the verge of bad things happening, that kind of help. Yeah, let's heal. Okay, heal 2 harm, but I take the 2 harm. That's fine.
And is it off? Where the quarter?
Okay.
Way down. During
Ethereal. Ethereal?
Euphorial is how I've been pronouncing it. You're embraced by a rings and wings angel, oh Gracie.
Realize
it's kind of warm.
Gracie relaxes back a little bit.
Okay.
Moving about.
If for 1 second you all hear like a shriek, but then it's gone,
But if you
and it's sort of weird thing that you almost aren't even sure if you heard it. But you do hear in the distance like the sound of a car approaching. But
Leaving.
Biters, if you want to do something.
Biters is going to run over to where he
Oh, yeah.
thinks the creature that attacked Gracie is, and like tongue hanging out, try and chomp down on the creature.
Okay, make a sharp roll first, just to see if you can work out where it is. Because even though it's invisible, I think like a big physical presence, you can sort of like you can be aware of that.
And you probably would have seen like it get hit by a few things as well, so you probably see the impact.
9.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Make a kick some ass. Make a tough roll.
That is a 11.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Do you want to try gamble on getting a 12? Nah, I'm busy.
Also,
I have no
Okay.
idea what I'm doing.
So you've successfully attacked and done your harm, which is what?
My harm is 4.
4.
Yeah,
Jesus. Okay. And
I'm
you
going
get.
I'm going to inflict terrible harm, which makes it 5.
Ooh.
You bite down, and there's this awful gush of like black, horrible blood, and like even to biters, this is horrible, absolutely foul.
Rancid meat.
And you feel like things sort of like scrabbling at you, like not harming you, but it's probably trying to do something. And then whatever you've got your teeth locked onto seems to go limp, and
Yeah.
it just falls to the ground. And again, for just a second,
Yeah, I was going to say Biters would just be kind of shaking his head like a dog would when it's killed something or it's trying to kill something.
now it's very big. I mean, it's bigger than you.
Yeah,
So I think that's
so it's still
it's sort of-
trying it.
it falls to the ground. Now it's still invisible, but you do get a sense of where it is.
And then when he realizes it's dead, he kind of goes,
Biters.
tastes bad.
Am I still?
No,
I still
you
confused?
do realize what's going on. And when it came back to you, you really were going to be like, I have no idea what's happening. Like, and you probably would have just like missed your turn, essentially.
Yeah.
But yet the monster is dead.
Hey.
You have killed the monster. A car does approach, and it is a police car, but didn't have a siren or anything on. And it slows down as it sort of seems to take in the scene for 1 second, and then goes into reverse and
Nope,
just leaves.
nope.
Yeah.
They might be getting backup though.
Was that sorry?
They might be getting backup.
Just to let you know, it's like they were summoned by the monster. That was the shriek. And they've sort of worked out what's happened here, and we're like, yep, if the monster's dead, not getting involved in this. Let's just, carry on about our day. So you've killed the monster of Westholme, or at least the invisible
A monster
cannibal
of
monster.
Westholme. A monster of
Yes.
Westholme. Yeah.
Yes, there's still
Another one.
another.
At least another one out there.
Now, obviously, we're getting very near the end, but as of like right now, what do you guys want to do?
I mean, Fario expects Joe to keep his plan. Just like, okay, now just like
Next, the demon.
Yeah.
Fario seems to intend to go there right now.
Yeah, I think it's a. I think we should go and see what Mr. Rustig is up to. As we finish up here, Do we say? Are we trying to find out why the town went dark? Why the town went invisible? Or do we know that and we know it's? We just like we're finished here in this area.
I mean, I think I sort of explained that. I can't remember quite if it was
I mean, it's,
in character
I mean,
or.
Fario infers it was a deal with a demon.
Yes,
Okay.
that is correct. So are you heading off to
The
Get
West Home Daily
see Miss
Journal.
Rustic?
Yeah.
I was going to say, before we do, weren't we? Is the place we're in outside?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Is this your concern about being in sunlight?
Sunlight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It is. It's not coming back. It's it's dead.
Yeah.
And this is the last of the residents of the town, who was still going. So congratulations on
Hey.
dealing with that. But there's perhaps still the bigger problem of
Ellen Rustic. Yep.
which you're going to head over to now. But this probably seems a good place to stop
Yeah.
for today's session.
I think so. Yeah.
I hope
Yep.
everyone's enjoyed the session.
It's
Yes.
really good. Yeah.
I tried not to be too chaotic.
Well, I mean, the biggest problem for you guys in this game has been the police.
I know.
Yeah.
That's
Not
trying to
even
start.
No, it's not the biggest problem has been the police. The biggest problem has been Biters. Who then did redeem himself quite nicely.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. Like, it's like when those two police came up and they're just like doing their job, so just like try and blag off, like blag that like we're lawyers in Los Angeles, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
and I was amazed you managed to get out of all of the trouble you'd gotten yourselves into.
We didn't get
Um,
arrested! Hooray!
Because you guys getting arrested would raise some questions. Like, two of you are normal, more or less, and two of you are, well, one's
Not.
not normal at all, and the other one's from like another plane of existence.
Mhm.
And like on close inspection, they would realize that Euphariel wasn't human, was something, other. But yeah, thank you so much for playing.
Thank
I'm
you for
gonna
running it, Richard.
absolutely cheat and just say everyone can have an improvement
Yay!
for the next session, when you will presumably confront whatever Ellen Rustig is.
hmm
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you need to do your admin stuff, Jeff?
I do. Yes, need to close up the stream. Go to the credits screen, shall we? Thank you all very much for watching this evening. It's been a fun time. It's been a very messy time. I think we all had fun. I hope you had fun watching as well. If you did have fun watching, why not follow the channel? It's a completely free way you can support us. Great way to know when we go live. And this is September as well, where Twitch is offering discounts on all subs made to your favorite channels. So definitely take advantage of that. Of course, if you have Prime, you can subscribe with Prime. Use some of that Amazon monies to support your favorite streamers. Coming up on the stream over the next week, we have tomorrow evening, possibly doing some more Grand Theft Auto and getting the gang back together in GTA 5, GTA Online. Thursday, the Angel Games player will be presumably playing something, Knights of the Old Republic, or doing some art. Tune in to find out there. On Friday, I am back in the chair with Dungeons & Dragons, Prince of the Apocalypse, as the party continues their journey through the Black Geode in Rock and Stone. On Saturday, it's the final boss fight pub quiz, as we try and test our mettle against John's fiendish questions, so do tune in for that. On Sunday, it's a full week this week, not normally this full week. On Sunday, we have Rise of the Rhymer the Frost Maiden. Richard and me will be, along with a few other players, will be trying to sort out the aftermath of what happened last time, as we found the killer in the 10 towns, and I say brought him to justice, but we kind
kicked
of
his ass is what we did.
did. Yeah, that's what we did. Yeah. So I imagine that there won't be any repercussions for that, will there? There'll be like nothing falling out from that. So tune in for that on Sunday. Next Monday, John and Air Guitarist will be back with Minecraft Mondays, doing some more fun stuff with Create Above and Beyond. Which brings us around to next. It is a full week this week. It's been a long time since we've had a full week like this. Next Tuesday, Monster of the Week, where we go hunting for a journalist and
Yeah.
see what happens
Yeah.
Fake news media. We're coming for them.
there. See who's about who we can raid. Let's go just Joby one, who's playing Phasmophobia. Any of you guys ever played Phasmophobia?
Never even heard of it.
Really? Oh, you stick around for this one then. So we'll go and give him some love. See you all next week. Thank you very much for watching, guys. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.
Where are you going? Don't know why I'm waving at the camera. The camera's off now. So. And the raid is away.
Come on, dog.